Now, growing up, I will say I had this idea of nuns that, like, okay, well, clearly, like, I can't be a nun because I'm too loud. Like, I'm too, no, I'm too because my idea, I'm sure with like a lot of people, they think you have to be a certain way. So, um, like, as a nun, like, if somebody here is watching this or listening to this and they happen upon this podcast on YouTube or whatever, and they've never met a nun before, what are some like things that people kind of maybe when they meet you and your sisters, they're like, wait, whoa. Like, what are some kind of things that people have said, kind of like that, like, oh, you're too cute to be, or like, whatever. What are some of those things?
I think that's the main one, Jackie. Like, there's a specific personality type that equals none that can be further from the truth. Actually, I would say we need your grittiest daughter.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
We
the,
have a few.
Yeah, we have a few can take.
yeah, the
We'll send
nuns are
your way.
gritty. Yeah, like the nuns are gritty. If you're super sensitive, like it could be like a. That's what I noticed is actually like if I were to take like all the religious in the United States and like as a mental health professional like look at their personality patterns and their temperaments, religious sisters actually tend to have pretty strong temperaments, right? Like that may not always show up on the surface in the same way, but if you think about it a little bit, it does take a pretty good amount of grittiness to say I'm gonna, it takes grittiness to be parents too. But so that's the first thing. We have all kinds of personalities and gifts, and that's one of the things I love about Nazareth is we're a community that is incredibly diverse, like in temperament among the sisters, in nationality among the sisters, in gifts. So that's the people will come and be surprised that we have all kinds of personalities here. They'll too be surprised that we have like fun like other people have fun. So we will go bowling and we will go watch a movie and we will play games and like we enjoy having fun like everybody else.
Do people
Um,
come up to you when you are bowling or doing stuff and they're like, are you wearing a costume? Because we know friends who are like nuns and priests and like, is that a Halloween costume? Do
yeah.
people do that to you?
Well, they'll say, "Are you real?" Is usually the question. Are you real? Is the how it'll usually be phrased. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think the biggest surprise is when they realize that we operate like a family. And so I think that's been like the biggest surprise. Like we're not roommates, like we're not college roommates,
Mhm.
or we're not, that it really is, there's a family dynamic to it. And it's not family dynamic like parent and children, but it's family dynamic in the sense that where there's a family spirit, there's sacrificial love, there is accountability, and there's a gathering around like a central value. And for us, it's Jesus, right? And so those are the things that will shock people the most. The diversity of personalities. We like to have fun. They were real goofy. We had a lady staying with us recently who's very into fitness. And we got out the foam roller and we were having her teach us how to use the foam roller to roll out our. So we're like in our habits on the floor, rolling on the foam roller and just dying laughing at each other.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
yeah.
Yeah, the sisters are normal. They're people's sisters, they're people's daughters, they're people's
Yeah.
cousins. Like they're
Yeah.
normal people. They do
Well, and you're not signing up for a life of isolation,
right.
devoid of love.
The perfect opposite. So I had a young woman ask me once, she said, "What is living celibacy like?" And without thinking how it might affect her, my answer really quickly was, "It is wild." And her face like looked in horror. And I said, "Let me clarify." And I said, see, I said, celibacy is not isolation. It's not like a drawing away. It's actually a drawing closer to you. So
Oh.
the heart is not for one, not so that it can be alone, but so that it can be for all.
Mm.
And so it creates this like radical belonging, right? And so people will say, like, what name are you going to choose when you become a sister? And like the most important name we get is sister.
Mm.
So when people speak to me, we're automatically in a family dynamic, even when they call the name. And so, sorry, Bobby. Yes, like what you were saying really struck that chord in me about isolation.